Hello, it's Mrs. Please here, and today is World Book Day. Now, usually in school, we'll be doing lots of activities for World Book Day, and you usually get dressed up as your favourite book character, don't you? So today we're going to try and recreate that at home and do a nice activity with one of my favourite books that I've got at home. So first of all, let's think about books. What's so great about reading and books anyway? I'm going to show you a short video clip here, just to some of the children talking to you about why they like books and reading. And I hope you're also finding that reading is helping you through this difficult time as well. It certainly is helping me. I've read a few books over the lockdown. It's just a really great way of helping me escape what's going on and to sort of use my imagination to think of a different time or place we could be in. So let me share the video with you now, and then we've got a little quiz you can do too.
My favourite thing about reading is it takes you to a whole new world. It builds your imagination. It's just enjoyable and adventurous. It's just really fun and it helps you relax. When you're in hard situations, they can just take you out of that moment. I'm more of an old-fashioned book person. I like to read a solid book instead of a Kindle.
I prefer reading by myself because it's just quieter and I can focus more on the book and imagining what's happening.
My favourite thing about World Book Day is you can inspire other children to read books. I think World Book Day is important because you can express yourself in your own favourite book characters, and it's better than reading the book itself, in my opinion.
Happy World Book Day!
Okay, I hope that just introduced you to World Book Day, and I hope you love books as much as those children and as much as I do. Just to get you warmed up as well today, I've got a quiz for you, okay? It's the Brilliant Books quiz, and it's also on the BBC page, okay? So I'm not going to do it with you now because it's one for you to do on your own, but there are questions there to see what you know about some famous books. If you read the questions carefully, there's then some multiple choice answers, so I think you will be able to do quite well in this quiz. So the link is on the daily plan for you today. If you use that link, it will take you to the BBC website, and this is what you're looking for. You just need to scroll down a little bit, and it's the Brilliant Books quiz. Okay, so have a go at that. It's just 8 questions, but seeing if you know some really famous books. So let's see what book we're going to be looking at today. Now, I love books and reading, so I've got quite a lot of books at home, but I really love picture books. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a picture book today, and the book I've chosen is The Day the Crayons Quit. Okay, I've got it here too. So I don't know if you've heard of this book or you've read it before, but I really love it, okay? So this is The Day the Crayons Quit. You can see the front cover on the screen there for you, and it's also here, okay? So before we open the book and start reading, let's just have a think about that front cover. So do you think the crayons look happy, sad, or another emotion? What do you think? Have a look at the faces on those crayons there. See what you think. So if you're in school with the key worker group or you're working with somebody at home, then you can pause the video and have a conversation about these questions. If not, just think to yourself. I'll read through the questions now, think your own answers and ideas for each one, and then I'll share mine, okay? So first question is, do the crayons look happy, sad, or another emotion? So we've got a few different colour crayons there. Look at their faces. What do you think they look like? Okay, secondly, what does the word quit mean? Where can you find the meaning if you don't know? So if you don't know what the word quit means, where could you find it? Okay, next, why do you think the crayons have quit? Why would crayons quit their jobs? And finally, what do you think this story could be about? So the author of the story is Drew Daywalt. What do you think he wrote the story about? Okay, as I said, pause the video if you need more time to discuss. Okay, so let's just think about our ideas then. So do the crayons look happy, sad, or another emotion? I don't think they look happy, but I actually don't think they look sad either. I can't see any of them crying. I think this one looks a bit fed up. This one I think is almost a bit angry, almost like raising a hand, like shouting. And this one looking a bit cross as well. And this one's sort of almost got like hands on hips, looking a bit cross too. So I think maybe the crayons are looking a little bit cross or angry. What does the word quit mean then, if you quit something? So hopefully you remembered quitting is stopping doing something. So you might quit your job and not do it anymore, or you might quit eating chocolate and not eat chocolate anymore. So quitting is giving something up or stopping doing it. And if you didn't know that, you could have looked in the dictionary, or you could have used your web browser at home. What do you think, why do you think the crayons have quit then? Why might crayons quit their job, which is colouring basically, isn't it? Their job is to colour things in. So why would they have quit? Really, that's a bit of an inference question. It's up to you really to think. There's no right or wrong answer, but I guess each one would have their own ideas for why they wanted to quit, but maybe they're just bored of colouring. Maybe they want to do something different. I think we'll find out when we hear the story in a moment. And then finally, what do you think this story could be about? So what did Drew Daywalt write the story about? Was he really writing about crayons, or was there another meaning to the story? We're going to discuss that one a little bit later, so I'm going to leave you to think about that one. Okay, rather than have me reading this one to you, there's actually a really nice video on YouTube that I'm going to share with you now, okay? So again, like always with these videos, if you want to hear the story again, then you can go back and play the video again just to hear the story again when we come on to our work later, okay? So this is The Day the Crayons Quit.
The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew Daywalt. Pictures by Oliver Jeffers. One day, in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. "Hey, Duncan, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon." "Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favourite crayon for grapes, dragons, and wizards' hats, but it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous colour goes outside the lines. If you don't start colouring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon." "Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I am neither. I am beige and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown Crayon gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies, while the only things I get are turkey dinners, if I'm lucky, and wheat. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about coloring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon." "Duncan, Great Crayon here. You're killing me. I know you love elephants, and I know that elephants are grey, but that's a lot of space to colour all by myself. And don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos, and humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling one of those things? Such big animals. Baby penguins are grey, you know. So are tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? Your very tired friend, Grey Crayon." "Dear Duncan, you colour with me, but why? Most of the time I'm the same colour as the page you're using me on. White. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used to colour snow or filling empty space between other things, and it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon." "Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to draw the outline of things.
things that are coloured in by other colours, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill the colours of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometime? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon.
Dear Duncan, as Green Crayon, I'm writing for 2 reasons. One is to say that I like my work. Loads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs and frogs. I've no problems and wish to congratulate you on a very successful colouring things green career so far. The second reason I write is for my friends, Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons think they should be the colour of the sun. Please settle this soon because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green Crayon.
Dear Duncan, Yellow Crayon here. I need you to tell Orange Crayon that I am the colour of the sun. I would tell him, but we are no longer speaking, and I can prove I'm the colour of the sun too. Last Tuesday, you used me to colour in the sun in your Happy Farm colouring book. In case you've forgotten, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm shining down brilliantly on a field of yellow corn. Your pal and the true colour of the sun, Yellow Crayon.
Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon already talked to you, the big whinger. Anyway, could you please tell Mr. Tattletale that he is not the colour of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know that I am clearly the colour of the sun because on Thursday you used me to colour the sun on both the Monkey Island and the Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day of the Zoo colouring book. Orange, you glad I'm here? Your pal and the real colour of the sun, Orange Crayon.
Dear Duncan, it has been great being your favourite colour this past year, and the year before, and the year before that. I really have enjoyed all those oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. But the bad news is that I am so short and stubby, I can't even see over the railings in the crayon box anymore. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Blue Crayon.
Duncan. Okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I am a girl's colour, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your little sister I said thank you for using me to colour in her Pretty Princess colouring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now, back to us. Could you please use me sometime to colour in the occasional pink dinosaur or monster or cowboy? Goodness knows they could use a splash of colour. Your unused friend, Pink Crayon.
Hey, Duncan, it's me, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked and too embarrassed to leave the crayon box. I don't even have any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Help! Your naked friend, Peach Crayon.
Well, poor Duncan just wanted to colour. And of course he wanted his crayons to be happy. And that gave him an idea. When Duncan showed his teacher his new picture, she gave him a good work sticker for colouring. And a gold star for creativity.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed the day the crayons quit. I love that story, but let's test ourselves now and see how well you were listening, okay? See if we can figure out which colour crayon I've got a clue to here, okay? So we're going to play a game of Who Am I? Which colour crayon are we talking about? Let me just make it a little bit bigger, hopefully, and then you can see all of it. There we go. Okay, so who am I? Let's go through each of these and then we'll look at the answers. So I feel so empty, Duncan. You cannot even see me if I didn't have a black outline. Who am I? Okay, I'll read through each of these, then you might want to pause the video and have a discussion, particularly key worker group in school with Mrs. Chamberlain. You can pause the video after I've read through them and see if you can answer them. And if you're at home working with somebody, have a chat about the colours. And if you're working on your own, don't worry, just either drop the answers down or keep them in your head, okay? So the first one was, I feel so empty, Duncan, you cannot see me, if I didn't have a black outline, who am I, okay? Second one then, so this one here, Duncan, I love my workload. You use me to colour dinosaurs and trees and frogs. Who am I? Then this one, I am not speaking to yellow crayon. Can you tell him I am the real colour of the sun? Who am I? And then this one down here, I'm glad I've been your favourite colour for such a long time, but there isn't much of me left. Give me a break. Who am I? So who was Duncan's favourite colour? This one then, Duncan, I need your help ASAP. I'm naked and I can't leave the crayon box. Who am I? So which of the crayons had he peeled the wrapper off and left naked in the crayon box? And then finally, you use me all year long to colour fruits and even holidays. I need a rest. Who am I? That was right near the start of the book, that one. So who was the crayon that coloured the fruit and the holidays, like Valentine's and Christmas? Okay, so have a moment to think about your answers there. Right then, let's have a look. So this one was white, so I haven't actually put any colour on there because it was white. We need a black outline to see that crayon. Then we had green, colouring the dinosaurs, trees and frogs. Then we had orange, who thinks he's the real colour of the sun, but yellow crayon thinks he's the colour of the sun. And then we had blue as Duncan's favourite colour. This one was peach, wasn't it? He'd pulled the wrapper off the peach crayon and left peach crayon naked in the colouring in the crayon box. And then finally, it was the red crayon that coloured all the hearts and the Santas in the holidays. Okay, so Emmett's been reading the book too. And Emmett says, Drew Daywalt wrote The Day the Crayons Quit to remind us that we should look after our things and not waste our crayons. What do you think then? Is that what Drew Daywalt was trying to say when he wrote The Day the Crayons Quit? Should we be looking after our things and not wasting crayons? Is that really the message of this book? Do you agree with Emmett? Do you want to build on what Emmett said, or do you want to challenge what Emmett said? So again, if you're with somebody or in our key worker group, pause the video here and have a conversation about this, because this is a really good point to see if you can understand what the book is all about, okay? So if you're able to, chat with somebody you're with or with the key worker group, and if you're at home, don't worry, just think to yourself and I'll share my thoughts in just a moment. Okay, I hope you've had a chance to discuss that. I'm kind of edging towards agreeing and building on. I agree slightly. I don't think it's the real reason of the book, but I do think in talking about the different crayons and how they're used, Drew Daywalt has kind of drawn attention to the fact that we should look after our things and not waste things. However, I don't think that was the real purpose of the story. So I'm going to build on what Emmett said. I think really it's about thinking outside the box a little bit, okay, not always using the same colours for the same sorts of things. So it's really imagining the world, how it could be different. So not stereotyping things. I don't know if you've heard of the word stereotype before, but it's where we sort of attach ideas to things that we think just because of the way something is. So for example, we stereotype the blue crayon and always use it for the sea and the skies because that's what we think the sea and the sky always look like. But actually in reality, sometimes the sky can be grey, can be white, can be black. We have lots of different colours, okay? So stereotyping is when you kind of apply one idea to something and you don't really think about how different things can be, okay? So I think really this book is about stereotypes and using things differently and being creative. So using colours in different ways, using things around us in different ways and thinking creatively about the world. I think that's what Drew Daywalt was really trying to get at. You might have had different ideas. So I hope you've had a chance to have a discussion about that. Let's have a look at our activity for today then. So what I would like you to do is have a go at writing your own letter from a crayon. You can write to Duncan or you could even write to yourself if you want, or maybe you could write to me if you'd like to, it's up to you. So I'm going to have a look at my planning sheet here. This is on the daily plan for you. Okay, so you can use the planning sheet. You don't have to write lots on the planning sheet. It's just to try and organize your ideas, and then we'll have a go at writing a letter together in just a moment. Okay, so I am actually going to pick my color first because I think that will make it easier for me. And I have decided that I am going to write a letter from the blue crayon. Okay, because I also like the color blue. I've got a blue car, so I thought I would do blue as well. So I'm going to do my writing in blue. If you remember from what you saw in the video, the crayons actually wrote in the color that they are, didn't they? So I'm going to be blue. That's all I need to put in my planning box for that. So I'm going to be the blue crayon. Now, what might a blue crayon like to draw? Let me think. I think I'm going to magpie some ideas from the book, and I think the blue crayon probably does like to colour in water, seas, oceans. I'm just going to put etc. because I can add to that when I do my writing. I also was thinking about things that are blue in nature other than water, and we always kind of think that we don't have much blue food. We don't eat many things that are blue, but we have got blueberries, haven't we? So I'm thinking he might like to colour in blueberries, because nothing, you can't really use a different colour for blueberries. Or can you? What colour is a blueberry? They are a bit blue, aren't they? But actually, I think I could challenge that idea, because sometimes blueberries look a bit purple, don't they? So perhaps you could use a purple for blueberries instead, or maybe like a really dark red. I think I might use that for my complaint, actually. That would be a really good idea, wouldn't it? So I'm going to, in my complaint, be blueberries aren't really blue. They could be purple. So maybe could he want to do something else in blue, thinking creatively. So Drew Daywalt kind of wants us to think outside the box, doesn't he, and to colour things in a different colour to what they might look like in real life. So perhaps I'll say, what about a blue? What could we have? I bet you've got some ideas here. What about a blue, maybe cake, or a blue piece of bread? Or maybe I'll stick with fruit. Maybe I'll say, what about a blue strawberry? How about a blue strawberry? So blueberries aren't really blue, they could be purple. How about a blue? Oh, actually, this would go better in my what he wants box, wouldn't it? So I might put down here, what he wants is, I'm going to put it as a question as well, because some of the crayons ended their letters like that, didn't they? So how about a blue strawberry? I like the fact that one of them put, is that too much to ask, didn't he? I'm definitely going to magpie some ideas from the story. If we need a reminder as well, we can just go back to that video earlier in this recording and watch it again, okay? So if you want to magpie any ideas, don't forget, you can just go back in the recording and play again to re-listen to the story at any point, okay? So you can see I haven't put that many ideas on my planning sheet. It doesn't need to be a really long letter today. I want you to have fun doing this and be creative. So I'm not looking for a really long piece of writing. I'm looking for a really imaginative and creative piece of writing, okay? It'll be really lovely to share these later. So let's just check through my planning. I've got my crayon colour, it's blue. Things that the blue crayon likes to draw is going to be water and blueberries. And then complaint that blueberries aren't sometimes blue and maybe you could use a different colour for them. And then what he wants, how about a blue strawberry? So just to use the crayon in different ways. Let's start writing together then. So I've got Dear Duncan here. So I'm going to keep writing to Duncan. I'm going to change that font actually, because I just thought I'm going to do it in blue because I am the blue crayon. So try and think from the point of view that you're writing from. I'm writing from the point of view of the blue crayon. You write from whatever colour you've chosen. I really hope we get some interesting colours today, actually. I'm sure you could think of something more imaginative than blue. So maybe you could have turquoise or magenta or maroon or teal. So you might like to think of some really interesting colours. So maybe your favourite colour. You might like to pick your favourite colour today. It's up to you, but I've gone with blue, okay? You can see down here, I have added a picture already of a blue strawberry to try and link with what I'm going to be writing about. So you might like to do that too. It'd be lovely to see some really creative pictures to go with your writing today. In the book, you saw some lovely pictures. So here was the blue crayon pictures. Okay, so don't forget you can add pictures to your letter too. Right then, let's get writing. So, dear Duncan, I think I'm actually just going to check how the blue crayon started because that might help me to magpie here. So the blue crayon started, dear Duncan, it's been great being your favourite colour this past year. So I might start with that. It's been great. I like that. Dear Duncan, it has been great colouring water this year. I'm going to put, I loved our work on the oceans and seas. You did a great job of colouring the world. I'm going to put exclamation mark. I'm going to then put, I was also pleased, I'm going to maybe start a new paragraph here, because it's kind of going on to a different idea. I was also pleased that you used me to colour in the blueberries. If you remember in the book, Drew Daywalt kept referring to different colouring books that Duncan had used the colours in, didn't he? So I might magpie that idea as well. So I was also pleased that you used me to colour in the blueberries in your healthy food colouring book. However, how can we go into our complaint now? So we need to get into our complaint now that the blue crayon thinks blueberries aren't always blue and you could use a different colour. I like the way in the book Drew Daywalt wrote the crayons writing in a sort of chatty tone because they were writing to a friend. They could be a bit informal, couldn't they? So the crayons were being a little bit chatty in the way they spoke to Duncan. So I'm going to kind of carry on that theme and do it as if I'm almost talking to Duncan rather than writing to him. So I'm going to put, I was also pleased that you used me to colour in the blueberries in your healthy food colouring book. However, if we're honest, let's put, however, if we're honest, blueberries aren't exactly blue, are they? Everybody can see a blueberry is more purple than blue. How about using your purple crayon once in a while? Then we need to get on to suggesting, don't we? So we need to get on to, let's look back at our planning. We've done the water, we've done the blueberries, we've put in the complaint. So now we need to get onto this bit. What does the blue crayon actually want? So the blue crayon wants to maybe be used to be a blue strawberry or something different, okay? So let me I might just make the page slightly bigger there. So I've got a bit more room to write. Let's go. Let me just see if I can magpie any ideas. So we want to think about how we can lead into writing about what the blue crayon actually wants. So the pink crayon put now back to us, could you please use me sometime to colour the occasional pink dinosaur or monster or cowboy? So we could magpie that. So could you please would be a good sentence starter. What about, pick another colour. Oh, the black crayon puts, how about a black beach ball sometime? So we've got how about and could you please. They're both good sentence starters, aren't they, that we could magpie from the book. So I'm going to carry on that chatty tone and say something like, now we're on the subject, how about colouring, how about using me for different foods. Could you please colour a blue strawberry or blue, what else could we have? A blue strawberry or blue, What other food could we have that's blue? Blue strawberry or blue chocolate bar. You can tell chocolate's always on my mind. So, or blue chocolate bar. Could you please colour a blue strawberry sometime? And then I liked when the crayon in the book put, is that too much to ask? I think I'm going to magpie that. Is that too much to ask? And then they all ended with something along the lines of your friend or your tired friend or your blue friend. So I'm going to put your blue friend, the blue crayon, or just put your blue friend, blue crayon. Let me just read through because I think I could probably improve that. I wrote that quite quickly, didn't I? So I think I can probably improve it a little bit, but let's just see how I've done so far. So I've got, Dear Duncan, it has been great colouring water this year. I loved our work on the oceans and seas. You did a great job of colouring the world. I was also pleased that you used me to colour in the blueberries in your healthy food colouring book. However, if we're honest, blueberries aren't exactly blue, are they? Everybody can see a blueberry is more purple than blue. How about using your purple crayon once in a while? Now we're on the subject, how about using me for different foods? Could you please colour a blue strawberry or blue chocolate bar sometime? Let me just move my picture. Is that too much to ask? Your blue friend, blue crayon. Okay, I'm quite happy with that so far, but I think I probably could add in a little more detail. So I will go back and do a bit of editing. So when you've finished your letter today, don't forget to do a bit of editing too to see if you can improve any of your ideas. I'm really looking forward to seeing some really creative writing today. I just want you to have fun with this. As you can see, it doesn't need to be a really long letter, but do try and structure it with some paragraphs and use that planning to help you, okay? So the planning sheet is on the daily plan for today, and then you can write your letters straight into your exercise books today. Okay, don't forget you can include some pictures as well, linked to whatever you've written about. So I've got a blue strawberry because I wrote about a blue strawberry. And then also, if you'd like to, and you've got time to, I've put a colouring sheet on the daily plan for you today as well, okay? So this is taken from the end of the book that we read, so The Day the Crayons Quit, and this is Duncan's picture at the end of the story, so you can colour that in for me. But don't forget, we are thinking about using crayons for different things, okay? So don't do me a blue sea. I'd like to see maybe a pink sea or purple sea, something different, okay? And we've got the dinosaur here, so maybe a fun colour for the dinosaur too, and the dragons, okay? So really being creative today and thinking outside the box. Don't forget, if you want to rehear the story at any point, just go back in this video and you can play the story again, okay? I hope you enjoy your activity today, and I really can't wait to see your writing later. Happy World Book Day Year 4.